Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabe. I welcome you to Aspelia Latifolia flower structure. We have our flower here. This is the Aspelia Latifolia, and you can see it has got the petals of outer frollet outside. We shall discuss them. And then we have got the inner frollet. Inner frollet are these ones that are inside. Composite flowers, or what we call Compositae. The flowers in plants such as daisies, marigolds, and sunflowers consist of a dense group of many flowers called an inflorescence. So what we are saying here is that the flowers in a group of Compositae, these flowers, we have examples of daisies like marigolds, sunflowers. They consist a dense of group of many flowers, and that one, the whole of it, we call it inflorescence. For example, if you look here, this one appears to be like as if it is one flower, but it is a group of flowers. What we are referring to as the flowers are these ones that you are seeing inside here. Those are flowers. Whichever you are seeing here like this one is a flower, so we call them frolets. They are frolets. That one is a flower. You can see how it is moving. So they are small flowers in a group, so we call them inflorescence, a group of flowers on one receptacle or one stalk. What at first appears to be a petal in the flower head is actually a tiny but complicated flower, often called a frollet. So we are saying that what at first appears as a petal, like for example this one that we are seeing, what appears as a petal, this one you are seeing as a petal in the flower head, is actually a tiny but complicated flower, often called a floret. So when you try to magnify one of these small ones here, like this one which we are referring to as a frollet, this one here, this is what you're going to get. This is your frollet. That is how it looks like. That is a single flower. It has got a sepal. This part here down is what we are calling the sepals. The sepals, we cannot see them, they are inside. Then it has this part here, they are the petals. We have the petal tube, and then on top we have anthers. These anthers are fused together, and on top they are surrounding the style. We have the style and the stigma on top, being surrounded by the anthers. So the stigma will come like that. It has a hook like a fork, and then it enters inside. Now what we have outside here, outside those now are the anthers. They are surrounding the style, which is entering inside, and of course it will be going to the ovary. So what we see as a petal, this one here that we are seeing as a petal here, it is a tiny flower. It is also a small tiny flower which goes and got some part of the flower somewhere inside there. It's a tiny flower, but we call it the outer frollet. This one is the outer frollet, this part of the petal which has got a small flower. Then these ones that we are seeing inside, the ones that we see inside here, these ones we call them the inner frolets. They are the inner frolets. We shall see the difference between the inner frollet and the outer frollet. So the one that we are seeing here, this one is the inner frollet. It is the one that has got a stigma, and you can see the stigma here up. That part up curved is the stigma. Then it has the style. All of us, we can see the style here moving down. That is the style. Then we have the anthers. These are the ones that you're seeing in black. They are anthers. And what we're seeing as white, the white part that you're seeing down, that one is the petal. That white stuff that you're seeing, those are the petals. And then the sepals are deep down. That is the inner frollet. But the outer frollet has got this petal on one of the flower here. This has a petal here outside like that. In the inner frollets of Aspelia inflorescence, there are 5 sepals joined to form a tube similar to the 5 petals. They are always yellow or orange, are also joined together to form a tube at the base. They form a tube at the base, but with free tips. So we are looking at our inner frollet, and we say that this one has got 5 sepals. It has 5 sepals, which we have here. And when you look at these sepals, we have one here, another one here, another one here, another one here, another one here. Those are the 5 sepals. But you can see that these sepals, they are joined together. They come and join together, and they form one sepal which is joined out. So the same also applies to the petals. The petals are also 5 in number. They are 5 in number, and they are also joined together. You can see there is this petal here, there is this one here, there is this one here, there is another one the other side, and there is another one the other side. Those are 5. They have a free tip. At the tip they are free, but when they are going down, they join together. So they form the petal tube. They form the petal tube, like the way the sepals also are joined together to form a tube down. Five anthers are joined together and grouped around the style, which has a forked stigma. So we are seeing here, we have the stigma, which is forked, and then we have the style moving from the forked stigma going downwards. But now down we have the anthers joined together. These ones are our anthers. They are joined together, and the way they are grouping themselves, they are surrounding the style which is passing inside. And when you look at the stigma, you can see that the stigma is forked. So that is the stigma which is forked. And then from the stigma, we have the anther outside, which are surrounding the style. And then they enter into the petal tube, which enters into the sepals. That is the inner frolate. There is a single ovule in the ovary. We cannot see the ovary here, but the ovary is inside the petal. The ovary is inside the petal, cannot be seen, but the ovary has got a single ovule. In some Compositae, including Aspelia, the outer frolate with conspicuous petal have no reproductive organs and are said to be sterile frolate. We have already seen the inner frolate, and we have looked at it, that it has the sepals, it has the petals, it has the style, the stigma, and then 5 anthers fused together. But here we are saying in Aspelia and some other composite, the outer frolate with a conspicuous petal, it has a petal which is seen properly, but it has no reproductive organs, and therefore it is referred to as a sterile frolate. Now this one, what we are having here, this is our outer frolate, which we call the sterile outer frolate. Now when you look at it, it has down here, it has the sepals, like the way also the inner frolate. The inner frolate also has got the sepals. Then it has got one petals, which there are 5 of them joined together. So its 5 petals are joined together like that. All of them are joined together, the 5 petals. Now when you come to this one, the inner frolate, the petal on top, they are separate, but they form what we call a petal tube. Now we are saying that the outer frolate is sterile, meaning that it does not have the reproductive organs. And when you look at it here, it has only the sepals and the joined petals, but there is no reproductive system. Whereas if you look at the inner frolate, you will see it has got the sepals, it has the petals, and it has the reproductive organs. It has got the anthers as the male reproductive organ, and it has got a style and the stigma and also the ovary down as the female reproductive organ. So what we are saying is that the outer frolate that we are already seeing outside with the big petal is a sterile frolate. It does not have the reproductive organs. And if you look at the inner frolates, for them they don't have that big petal, but they have got the reproductive organs. Only the inner frolate carry out reproduction or has the reproductive organ. So the outer frollet does not have reproductive organ. It is only the inner frollet that has got the reproductive organ. Hello, my friends. Thank you very much for participating in Aspelia Latifolia flower structures. Please do like, share, and subscribe.